between the Washington Wizards and your Chicago Bulls. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. Introducing first, the visiting Washington Wizards. The Wizards are coached by head coach Doug Collins. Now the starting lineup for Washington. At forward, 6'6", from North Carolina, Jerry Stackhouse. A 6'11"
second. Rosen, standing ovation for the return of Michael Jordan. We have the clock on it. He did actually make his first return here last year and was driven nearly to tears by a long-standing ovation. The game that followed was not exactly artistic basketball, and Michael, with a career-high 9 turnovers, scored just 16 points in a 77-69 victory. Jordan opening up on Jalen Rose as the Bulls control the opening tip. Danielle Marshall playing despite bruised ribs over Christian Lindner and rebounded by Brendan Hayward. This is Larry Hughes playing the point. Hughes and Stackhouse in the backcourt. We're just underway here in the Windy City, and Larry Hughes able to knock down the baseline jumper.
Just enough size advantage to get over the top of Jay Williams without any problems. Get a good look at the basket. Larry Hughes playing much more under control this year, shooting the ball extremely well.
Brent Hassel not able to hit, and back come the Wizards, who are 14-17. Right now they're in that 8th and final playoff spot. Only a game over Milwaukee. Game and a half in front of the Knicks. Here's Jordan connecting on his first field goal attempt.
I'm not sure that's a real good sign for the Bulls bench that MJ makes his first one.
Tyson Chandler, who comes off a career game, fires one up. Rebounded by Leighton Chandler the other night against Portland. 9 for 16, 27 points, 18 rebounds. Talking with Bill Cartwright, the head coach of the Bulls, earlier, he was even surprised as Hayward gets inside, and he is fouled by Rose and Chandler, leading the Bulls to the victory. They clear it out for Jordan. That was deflected short by Marshall and tipped home.
The first play was almost a spectacular tip by Larry Hughes. Michael Jordan's shot was blocked, therefore it's a free ball. You go up and tip it in, not worry about a goaltend situation. Larry Hughes almost tipped it in backwards using the glass over his head without seeing the basket.
Hassel taking it to the rim is fouled, and he hits the line.
First personal, second team.
You'll see that Jordan going up, shot is blocked. Underneath the basket, there's the piece of the ball right there. Larry Hughes facing the sideline, tips it in backwards over his head, almost kisses it in off the glass, but then stays with it, fouls it up with the tip in.
Wizards with the
5 when they're winning after the first quarter, 0-10 when they're losing after the first quarter. So both coaches said it's really important how we play in the first quarter for the end result.
Nice pass, Stackhouse, rolling the reverse. Do you feel that is because these are both fragile teams? That's not something you expect in the NBA if things don't go well early. Rose, and the tip by Rose.
Well, I think how you start is many times how you finish, and so it shows your level of preparation, your level of intensity, your level of unselfishness. So I think the score is not as important as how are you playing the game. If you're playing it the right way, you're going to have a chance.
Yeah, in Washington's case, they've been playing veteran guys most recently the majority of the minutes. In Chicago's case, they lose confidence very quickly when they get down in the first quarter.
Wizards with an 11-5 lead. Chandler given the room. Tyson Chandler with the side jumper.
That's an important shot for him. He's got great quickness, so if he can make that 12 or 15 footer, Brendan Hayward's going to have to extend his defense, and then he can use his quickness to go by him off the dribble.
And away from the ball, Trent Hassel and Jerry Stackhouse got involved. It's on Hassel. That's his first.
You'll see the low post trying to be fronted by Hassel, or Stackhouse winds up flashing into the low post area. The front by Hassel, a foul call.
And Stackhouse lost possession. He thought it was deflected out. Took his eye off the ball. This is the first of 4 meetings between the Bulls and Wizards. They're playing each other 3 times this month. The Wizards will be back here January 24th, and that will be Jordan's finale in Chicago. Nice play, Danielle Marshall for the 20-year-old Tyson Chandler. return in the uniform of the Washington Wizards as we flash back. October the 26th, 1984, the old Chicago Stadium. And for Michael, his first NBA game, as it turned out, against the Washington franchise, then the Washington Bullets. The Bulls won the game 109-93. Behind the back maneuver by Jordan, able to take it the distance. It was Jeff Rulin back there for the Bullets trying to defend against Michael as Jordan went 40 minutes. 5 of 16 from the field, 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. October the 26th, 1984 at Chicago Stadium. Thus far tonight, Michael is 1 for 3 from the field. Jerry Stackhouse able to hit the 3.
I think it was Jeff Rulin that gave Michael a taste of the stadium floor also when he drove down the lane there one time.
Wasn't he part of McNasty and McFilthy? Weren't those?
At that time, I'm looking at the Washington roster. It was just Jeff. Jeff Rulin will play 36 minutes. Jeff Rulin, now the head coach of Iona, coming away with a terrific holiday festival victory for Iona.
Over North Carolina. He's done a very good job at Iona.
And a look at that Chicago Bulls roster for Michael's debut. Orlando Woolridge, Enos Watley, Steve Johnson, Caldwell Jones, Juwan Oldham, Sidney Green, Dave Corzine, Wes Matthews, Rod Higgins, now an executive with the Wizards, Charles Jones.
Sidney Green coaching down in Florida.
But after you see that roster, you see why it took so long for Jordan to win in this league. The supporting cast wasn't all-star caliber.
Christian Leitner called for the foul. And, of course, Doug Collins in his coaching stint here in Chicago. Spent 3 years with the Chicago Bulls in his final year. Bulls went to the Eastern Conference Final, and then Doug replaced by Phil Jackson as the Bulls went in another direction. Wizards up by 3 with 5:22 remaining in this first quarter. That was kicked out of bounds, so the ball back to Chicago.
That's 2 times tonight already we've seen Larry Hughes try to do something with the basketball that maybe, looking back at it, he should not try to do. A little bit too much tricky dribbling with the ball for Larry Hughes, who's not really what you call a pure point guard.
Here's Danielle Marshall. And the foot on the line, that's a 2-pointer.
That's where Kwame Brown has to pay more attention to scouting report defense. They talked today about having to close on Danielle Marshall after they trapped the pick and roll. He gave him space, too much space, lifted up, uncontested jump shot.
Jordan, played by Rose, tried to alley-oop to Kwame Brown, who had checked in following the timeout. Hassel with a rainbow. Marshall on the save, but ends up in the hands of Kwame Brown. Now Jordan being played by Jay Williams, goes right at him and scores.
Danielle Marshall was trying to get to him to double team. He saw the size advantage, but Jordan also saw Marshall coming at him, so he turned baseline away from the double team and shot over the top.
4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Tyson Chandler rejected by Kwame Brown. Hughes, Brown with the tip. Now we have seen flashes from Kwame Brown, and he's come on and done a couple of nice things right here.
Blocked a shot, ran the floor, tipped in. Tyson Chandler did not run back, thought he got fouled, cost his team 2 points.
Williams not able to hit. Rebounded by Brown. Stackhouse leads the break. Stackhouse finds Hughes. And the Wizards up by 7.
Doug Collins said, we don't want to turn this into an up-and-down, shooting jump shots type of game, but we do want to run fast breaks for layups. He said, run breaks for layups. That's what they just got. You start out your good offensive stuff with defense most of the times. And here you'll see Kwame Brown playing head up on the basketball, block Chandler's shot. He gives it up to Jordan. Then he's the man who runs the middle of the floor on the missed shot. He's also the man to tip it back in for the Wizards.
These are guarded by Brown. Pfizer with a bullet pass to Marshall.
And that's a lack of cutoff responsibility under the basket. Stackhouse was the next man that was supposed to rotate back that time. He came halfway but never went all the way. obviously the layup was open.
The more pick and roll Chicago runs, the better quality shots they're going to get.
Pretty pass, Kwame Brown from Jerry. The stretch playing 6 of 9 at home. And for Chicago, this is game 4 of a 6-game homestand. Pfizer. And Pfizer and the Bulls fortunate that was knocked out of bounds by the Wizards.
That's the same play, but Jordan was in there and cut off the inside and got a hand in because he got all the way back on the inside to cut off the low block pass.
Eddie Robinson on a nice inbound play. Eddie Robinson, who had been in and out of the lineup with a sore left knee.
I'm not sure if Washington knew if they were in zone or man right there. Just a straight basket cut. That's too easy.
I'll tell you who knew. Chicago knew because they just ran a dive cut right down the middle of the lane and wound up with a layup.
Kwame Brown continues to show the touch. Wizards now lead 28-17. Here's Crawford from way downtown. Jamal Crawford in his 3rd year out of the University of Michigan. He's made it back from knee surgery and he's played well. Has been unhappy that he's not getting more playing time. He is contending, though, with the Bulls' #1 draft pick, Jay Williams. Stackhouse, yes, and the Wizards on fire. Check back in. And here's the applause from the crowd. Michael has played 12 minutes, 2 for 5 from the field, 4 points. Michael faced the Bulls only twice last year, missed the other 2 games because of injury. Only the 1 appearance here in Chicago, and he gets right to it. Last year in the 2 games, he averaged 23 points. And I think Kwame has get the idea. As Pfizer, with a power move, draws the foul. I believe Kwame may have received that message a few times in practice sessions. But Jay Williams does not view the move to the old Jordan locker as a slight, and is hoping that Michael does not derive motivation from that. In fact, Williams, in an interview earlier today, called Jordan the greatest player ever about 15 times in a 2-minute session with the press.
Well, I'm a little confused because it's not like there were a bunch of open lockers from what I gather, and that this locker had been set aside for Michael. According to what Jay Williams said, it was the only open locker when he arrived, so he took it.
I've got 2 words for it. Who cares what locker this guy stays in? That's a media-driven obsession. And I'm a part of it.
Is this a shot at Craig Sager?
No, not at him, but just the people writing stories about what locker a guy's in.
Fred Hoiberg, who just checked in, not able to hit. Michael Jordan, and knocked away by Marcus Pfizer. Good hustle by Pfizer, who was hearing it from the crowd, but he knocked it out of bounds, so the ball back to Washington.
The Bulls right now need more people to make plays like Pfizer. Pfizer's energetic. He's going at the glass, on the floor for loose balls. Their whole team's got to take upon that personality.
Kwame Brown with 6 on the shot clock. And Kwame Brown has put together a very impressive first half. 4 for 7, 10 points. Williams able to split through. Williams with the floater.
That's what we're talking about. High pick and roll. He drove in the lane instead of taking it all the way to draw the foul. He shot the little runner, and that's the adjustment he had to make from college basketball.
I told you he was learning quickly. You doubted me.
I never doubt you. I only disagree with you.
Kwame Brown able to play the deflection. Fred Hoiberg on the rebound. Rose's pass intercepted by Leitner. Lou accelerates. Teron Lou with a gorgeous move. And Teron Lou is 4 for 4 from the field. Daniel Marshall guarded by Christian Leitner. Oh, what a shot by Daniel Marshall. Wizards by 16 as we approach 3 minutes remaining in first half. Michael Jordan receiving a 2-minute standing ovation when he was introduced to the crowd prior to the game. Kwame Brown getting position. And Jordan has played 17 minutes, 3 of 8 from the field. He's hit 3 jumpers, 6 points.
What I like about what Jordan's doing tonight is not trying to come out and just score himself. He's just making plays for his teammates, moving the ball, and they're shooting a very, very high percentage because of that.
Rose is fouled by Brown.
A little confusion at time between Michael Jordan and Christian Laettner. They just walked over to each other, acknowledged the fact that they knew they made the mistake. Michael Jordan was forcing the ball down towards the baseline. Laettner thought he was going to bring it to the middle of the floor.
A timeout is called. It's the Wizards 51 and the Bulls 33. That was game 1 of the 91 NBA Finals, won by the Chicago Bulls in 5. In Chicago, Kwame Brown with 12 points and 6 rebounds. Yes, we're in the Windy City, and the Wizards with a 55-37 lead over the Bulls at halftime. Marv Albert, Jeff Van Gundy, the Czar, Mike Fratello, and Czar, an outstanding first half for Washington. They shoot 53% from the field, 21 out of 40, and just killed the Bulls off the boards.
I would think that Doug Collins is really happy with almost every aspect of the game, because not only did they score 55 points, as you mentioned, but they hold Chicago down to 37 points. He got a chance to play 9 players during the first half. They're +7 at the foul line. And then the big thing, rebound advantage to Washington, 26-14.
Yeah, and Chicago's just been outworked. As everyone's mentioned, they've just been dominated on the glass. They've given up 55 points on 53% shooting. And this young team's inconsistency has been mirrored by Tyson Chandler. We talked about him to start the game. 27 points, 18 rebounds, both career highs against Portland. Tonight, first half, 4 points, 1 rebound.
And a look now at the Jeep game summary. Mentioned the 53% outstanding shooting half for the Wizards. Chicago only 15 of 41 at 37%. You see what the Wizards have done off the bench, and that 26-14 advantage on the boards. Wizards have led all the way. They've led by as many as 18 points. And the high man, Kwame Brown with 12, Jerry Stackhouse with 11. Back in control. Washington at 14-17. They come off a win at home over the San Antonio Spurs. Laettner, and the hot shooting continues for the Wizards.
And I think you'd have to be very, very pleased with the offensive execution for Washington right now. They know where they want to get the basketball to. They're forcing Chicago into defensive moves and then taking the counters to the moves they're making. It's a real nice job at the offensive end by the Wizards.
8-0 run for Washington. Shot clock down to 5. Marshall. Now the Bulls are not getting good shots. And you can hear the reaction from this crowd. Hughes able to find room on the baseline and is fouled by Chandler. Without a field goal the last 4.5 minutes. Hughes, yes, 10 straight points for the Wizards. Here's Tyson Chandler. And this has become just a horrendous performance by the Chicago Bulls, and you can hear this crowd react. Stackhouse. It's a 25-point lead for Washington.
What you learn very quickly when you come to play here in Chicago, because of the history, because of tradition. And here's the long outlet pass for Jerry Stackhouse on the fast break.
And Stackhouse sent flying. He's shaken up.
What you find out very quickly is because the standards were set so high, and the majority of these fans were part of those years where they won the championships. It's the same as Green Bay in football, what they come to expect. The New York Yankees in baseball. The people want the players to give them that effort. They want another championship eventually. Not that this group is ready for it right now, but they're used to seeing outstanding baseball.
Atlanta Hawks. There's the czar. Very youthful-looking czar.
Willis Reed next to me on the side, my assistant.
However, this is a night that saw Michael pour home 61 points on 22 of 38 from the field.
61, I don't think Mike Fratello said it didn't happen. We're seeing it here. Dunk after dunk. Where is the defense? That was a tough matchup. Randy Whitman isolated one-on-one against Michael Jordan.
My stopper.
Double team.
I had my stopper on Randy Whitman.
Are you still refuting it, that it didn't happen?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that was the results of those games.
We edited you into the tape. Marcus Pfizer on the tip, and finally the Bulls are able to score. The man is in denial.
You have to give Mike a lot of credit for disputing something that is factual. His stubbornness knows no bounds.
Look, I see Frank Sinatra doing commercials for the NBA right now, so why couldn't I be edited into the film? I don't understand.
It's tape.
It's tape, St. Louis.
I'll tell you why, because we wouldn't waste the money to edit you into
That's
it.
true.
It's simple. Just admit it. 61 against Randy Whitman.
All right, here's another look. There is a youthful-looking czar. This, what, 35 years ago?
You know, I really think that game plan, I think Willis Reed was in charge of that the defensive game plan that particular night. Night.
I think you have to blame someone.
I think Will had the defense.
You know, we should blame Randy Whitman. That was a fair matchup. He's just got to get into him a little bit harder, use his athleticism, use his quickness.
Deny the basketball.
That's right.
Don't touch it. Can't score if you can't touch it.
Randy was Minnesota. I'm disappointed, you know.
We'll have a chance to chat with Willis Reed, an executive with the New Jersey Nets. We'll be at the Sacramento, New Jersey game next week.
Yes, we'll bring that up.
We'll check out things with Willis. Eddie Curry with the rebound and a foul. The Bulls went 7 minutes without a score before that bucket just moments ago. Hayward is called on the foul, and now Curry to the line.
Difficult to win. Now this game's a blowout, but it's difficult to win close games when a lot of your main players, Jay Williams being one, aren't efficient from the free throw line. There's a number of Bulls who don't shoot the ball particularly well from that area.
As a team, they are only 70% at the line. Jordan for three. Confusion on the part of teammates Marcus Pfizer and Eddie Robinson, so the Wizards maintain possession. Washington gets the new shot clock. Jordan will put it in play. Stackhouse to the reverse.
Where is the next defensive player coming up to make a rotation? Jordan goes for the steal. Jalen Rose misses the jumper. They're out running again.
Jalen Rose 4 for 17 from the floor. Stackhouse, yes. 23 points for Stackhouse. He has been on fire. 10 of 14 from the field. And you can hear the boos.
Screen by Hayward, drives away, no help by Chicago, falling back, Jordan like up and in.
Jerry Stackhouse with 25 points, 14 of the 25. Jerry Stackhouse, high point man with 28, has a hot hand on 12 or 18 shooting. Jalen Rose finished with 26, but the star tonight, number 23, back here in Chicago in the uniform of the Washington Wizards. Let's go to Craig with Michael.
Well, Michael, you said you'd always be a Chicago player. This is your home. What was your reaction to the fans with the 2-minute ovation and yelling, "We want Mike"?
I'm very, very appreciative. I mean, I got much love for the fans here in Chicago, and they helped me grow. And it's very tough playing in front of them because I want to win. I just don't like beating them, obviously. But they showed me the highest regard tonight, and over my years. So I'm very appreciative of that.